Like Two Peas in a Pod review, Nakata and Tanaka. Tanaka and Nakata. Their names are so similar that for the moment to start high school and accidentally mix up their administrative paperwork on their first day. There, they and their classmates can help but notice how alike they are. The same height, the same time to run the 50 the same taste in music. If during class Nakata spots a controller in the sky, sure enough, Tanaka will always be staring out of the window in the same direction, and not at that word. To the teacher's infuriated despair, sitting sandwiched between these two is Yuki Tanigaki, which finds herself alternately amused and annoyed by their antics, but it's Tanaka that she is attracted to, and eventually the two start dating. Nakata feels left out, but he carries out on his library duties, in which he's paired with Futaba, a girl who loves reading and, in spite of having her nose buried in a book most of the time, she's surprisingly perspicacious when it comes to other people's feelings, and when she notices Nakata unconsciously clutching at his chest from time to time, she realizes this he's hurting. How long would this ache last? Meanwhile, the dating couple carry on being a couple, with Tanaka obviously obvious it seems that Nakata's growing distress. Somehow or other, Tanaka and Tanaka find themselves in identical t-shirts match, attending the local summer festival together because Yuki has already made plans with her girlfriends. During the fireworks, the boys end up fighting, and Tanaka manages to convince himself that Nakata is becoming his rival for Yuki's affections. It seems that all their points of similarity aren't so similar anymore. As the friendship deteriorates, the school sports festival looms, and Nakata and Futaba work together on making the costumes, returning to what they think is their empty classroom to come upon Yuki and Tanaka in a highly compromising position about to kiss. Nakata flees and Futaba goes after him. This is what happens when two people start to date. She says gently but bluntly, "Do you know that? Or were you just trying to not to see it? Or think about it, but has even Futaba misread the situation? Is it really Yuki that Nakata has a crush on?" The story takes place over the 4 seasons, starting with the new school year in spring and ending in winter as the snow is falling. Gora Kanbei clearly treads recurring motifs during the chapters. A shared umbrella, the level crossing Tanaka and Nakata's walk home from school, thus mesmerizing contrails in the sky outside the classroom. Some of these elements can be found in many slice of life school stories, but they skillfully use her here to show how the relationships between the characters are shifting and changing, especially the familiar shared umbrella trope. But what makes this story stand out from many other manga about falling in love in high school is a hotness with Goro Kanbei depicted on certainties and complexities of the experience. What even is love? Tanaka asks Nakata toward the end, averting his face so he and we can see his expression. "I just don't know him anymore." Goro Kanbei has a great gift of conveying during their art how characters are feeling, as opposed to how they're reacting or what they're saying. Facial expressions and body language are distinctively and meaningfully drawn. By the end of the manga, you feel as if you really know the four protagonists and are noting the things to go well for them all. In her postscript, Goro Kanbei has a special paragraph about the two girls, Futaba and Yuki Tanigaki. One of the strengths in his story is the presence of these two very different personalities and the way they interact with Tanaka and Nakata. Girls are too often sidelined in BL, either whispering in corners about how the male protagonists are hot or introduced as annoying the one no love rivals. By way of bonus material, there are 4 yon koma and a little more background material in the mangaka's postscripts. Christine Dashiell has produced a sparkling translation for Tokipop that feels just right in tone for this story, which relies a great deal on its character interactions. Goro Kanbei is one of the new to English translation BL authors from Mud Garden's BL list that Tokipop has been featuring in their LGBT plus love X love list. Other 3 titles like Two Peas in a Pod, Don't Call Me Dirty, and I Call Me Daddy are unusual, entertaining and perceptive pieces of craft fiction. Her characters are really engaging, flaws and all. She is skilled in creating genuinely funny moments and her heartbreaking ones as well. Unrecommended, 10 over 10.